Dear friends, for competitive examination of Indian Administrative Services and Rajasthan Administrative Services, the chapter Environmental Studies is there, in which the most important topic itself is the human population. What do you mean by the human population? Human, the population meaning is what? Population of any of organism concerned with either plants or animals. So human is also an example of the animal. So any organism present in numbers at that particular place and the time, that is called the population. So here human population concerned with the number of humans beings present in certain area at specific time. For example, today we have the 30th June 2026. So the number of human beings present in Rajasthan are at this present now are this one. So the value is called human population. So any, for example, in case of the world, we have to see the population of human being on the world. These words can be also covered if suppose any of the garden, the number of mango trees are 25. So that is the 25 is the population of mango tree. So what we have to do particular here to analyze the environment as per scene, because all the human being, all human population present on the earth planet, so we have to see that correlates with the environment. I have earlier told the definition of environment is surrounding us. So the human population is surrounded by the different component of the environment. So what we have to evaluate that particular environment and what are the human needs. For example, roti, kapda or makan, that is the essential for any of the human being. We needs the food, we needs the shelter, we needs the work, we needs the energy. So certain that with out of those particular certain materials are essential. For example, water, this is must for any of the human being. Air, that is also must. We have to see if suppose we are respirates ourselves, any of the human being respirates in 1 minute 72 times. So respiration occurs because of the oxygen available in the environment. So we have to see how much amount of um, air is needed for any of the human being or all of the human being. So for example, if suppose water is there per day, any of the human needs 2.5 liter, that is for only purpose of the drinking. So drinking water we needs, so that is essential part. Certain others we have to require the food for generation of energy, and energy is required for doing the work. So our work itself is proportionate with the input of the food. What type of food we are taking, all of you know about the different constituent of food, carbohydrate, protein, fats, minerals, so many things. So we have to evaluate for human needs. Then we have this these environment part. For example, all of you know biotic component, abiotic component. Biotic component of environment, that is the different plants and animals. Animals, either where those animals in water, on the land, in air, it's so many things. Those animals may be unicellular, microorganism, or the billions of cells are present in the heavy animals. For example, elephant, the whale. So we have to see here we concerned with ourselves, the human population. So human population is directly proportionate with the environment. With the environment, the all around us. Where if we have to see other ways, the biosphere, the organism, total organism, plants and animals. Then we have the atmosphere surrounding us. Similarly, we have the lithosphere. Similarly, the hydrosphere. Hydro means the water concerned. So that water is concerned with the sea, the water resources, the rivers. We have the uh, North Cape, North Ice, whatever the whole Antarctic and Arctic places. So all those are proportionate. So here we have to give the chances for human population, and this proportionates with the available resources, whatever those available resources. So this is the question. Now here human growth rapidly occurs. So that is the human growth is more and more increase the number of the human beings on the earth. All of you have know about the at this present context human population explosion occurs because since last 125 years the population is very rapidly increase. So about 5 times human population is increased since 1900. So that is called the human population explosion. So explosion occurs in human beings. Why? We because of the industrialization, because of the so many energy resources we are used, different types of food we are used, the water we are used, then we have the medical care become so available. So what we have the human population rapidly increase and continue to do so with dramatic impacts on global climate and ecosystem. Whatever recently news in Europe that Europe undergo in June 2026 very hot. Their appearance of 45 degrees centigrade temperature on European countries that was earlier not there. So here climatic conditions are affected by the resources used by the human population. So what we have, there are so many impacts. All of you have know about the disasters. Recently so many disasters occurs, natural disaster, man-made disaster. Recently the war between Iran and America, Israel, the war between the Russia and Ukraine. So those are the what we have the disaster, nature, artificial disaster. Here recently earthquake in Venezuela, earthquake in Afghanistan. So those are the natural disaster. So what we have earthquake, one of the example of natural disaster. If suppose we have the whatever other water activities, for example flood, the drought, whatever extreme high temperature, so all those are the impacts on the earth. So here because of the human activities, different activities here, so those can give the impact on the environment, and this is one of the great concern at this moment, that climate concerns are growing and growing What are those climate concerns? Majorly increase of the temperature of the earth that have seen in 2026 more and more. So these are the environmental concerns. However, some others are also there. Ozone layer depletion. Then we have the greenhouse effect. So that is increase in the. Similarly, acid rains are also there. Similarly, toxic pollutants are also increased. So human is under the pressure. Why this pressure? Because of the human population explosion occurs. So what we have certain questions, multiple choice questions. Those appears in IS and RS examination. If suppose we have to taken the first of the case, whatever the forest one, forest resources are also available on the earth. Those are the forests are the green blanket of the earth. About two-thirds of forests covered the earth about 100 years ago, but now the proportionate of forest is only one third. So the question is, the dash are the predominant forest in the world. Here the dominant, that is the rainforest, is the correct answer. Whatever the other, in case of the geographical we have the different forest. Then the another question, greenhouse gases. Greenhouse gases, those gives the heat to the earth. So that is the greenhouse gases gives the heating of the earth. Mostly the carbon dioxide, the methane, and then certain nitrogen oxides. So all of the above, this is the correct answer. Now, the Taj Mahal, whatever the changes recent, what we have, in which year the Taj Mahal was made, the historical dates are there. So nowadays, because when Taj Mahal was made, at that moment, the Taj Mahal itself, the marble, the calcium carbonate, and that big structure of Taj Mahal available in Agra. But nowadays, what occurs? That is the darkening means yellowish color, and so many other coloring appears because of the acid rains. And acid rain itself, the increase in the pH value, and this is because of the whatever certain polluted gases, the carbon oxides, the sulfur oxides, and nitrogen oxides. So, by which here the correct answer is the because of the air pollution. However, there are certain water pollution are also there, soil pollution, noise pollution. These are of the biggest challenge at this present context for human being. The pollution. Here, correct answer is the because of the air pollution. Center for Environmental Education is located at New Delhi. Next one, the whatever the repeat of the forest that already we have seen, the rainforest. Then next one, biotic. Biotic means plants and animals, whatever those, either microorganisms or the major, the number of billions of cells may be available on that particular organism itself is the plants or animal, the unit organ, that is. So here amoeba is one of the example of protozoans, and that is unicellular animal. So here correct answer is the amoeba. Whatever others are the example of producer, whatever that is particular the food chain in which the food is produced. Producer, food itself is produced by plants by use of the carbon dioxide, the water, the minerals, where the plants converts those things into the food material. So leaves. So plant is the correct answer. Next question, nitrogen. All of you know about the different gases present in the atmosphere. So here the major percentage of nitrogen in air is about 79%. So this is the correct answer. Anyone can give why then 79% of nitrogen is present in air. Why not oxygen? Because oxygen is required for respiration. That is whatever, because the nitrogen is inert gas, whereas the oxygen is reactive gas. So what happen in case of the flammability, fire, oxygen is required. So if suppose air have more oxygen, then there is the no existence of organism, because whole earth will be fired. So here the major, whatever the question, reservoir. So here nitrogen is reservoir on our planet. Next question, the photochemical oxidant. This is very complicated concern. What happened? The nitrogen oxides. This is the answer for photochemical oxidant. What happened? When we have to see the night driving of heavy vehicles, so when sunrise occurs, so during that particular, in between the sunrise and whatever the darkening, the nitrogen, the photochemical reaction occur when sunrise is there, and that particular photochemical smoke is formed. Very old, the London smog, very dangerous appearance in London, and in which the more many lives were died. So that is, so here photochemical smog, photochemical oxidant is nitrogen oxide, nitrous oxide, nitrogen oxide. This gas formed by reaction of nitrogen, which is present in atmosphere, with oxygen. So therefore, the correct answer is C1. The objective of environment education, whatever so many challenges of environment concern. So climate concern, most one. So here, to raise consciousness about environmental education, to teach environmentally appropriate behavior, so many behavior. What happen if flood is there, if drought is there, if melting of Ganga uh, glacier, melting of Arctic place, melting of Antarctic place. So what happened? So these, the environmental education is required. Then up behavior. What happened? Air pollution, the behavior, the adverse effect of air pollution on human being. All of you know about the mask used during the COVID concern. So awareness, appropriate behavior is must create an environmental ethics. This is the manner that forest away. So whatever the prime minister's aspect, that we have to grow more and more plants, because the plants gives the more and more oxygen. So interdependence, this is also relevant with the economics. So now soil. This is also lithosphere. The soil, single soil. This is called the polypedons. One of the complicated question. Groundwater depletion. This is also very complicated. Here about 10 centimeter per year. In Jaipur, during the last 30 years, the human population growth is about 6 to 7 times. So similarly, water present in Jaipur area, underground water, is drastically exploited. And nowadays, the Bisalpur dam, from where the drinking water is coming. So what? So whatever human population is directly proportionate with the available water on the planet. Now, hydrological cycle. This is the solar radiation. All of you know about the water cycle. What happen? Sea water evaporates when sun rays is appears, then water is converted into water vapors, then water vapors further condensed into the water. So this is the answer is solar radiation. The climax communities are different from presumed climate community. Is the correct answer all of this? Retrogressive succession, diffracted succession, autogenic. This is also complicated question. So thanks for all. I think all of you have to uh, compare these this video and share it and like it. If any of needs of any of the question, then sure you have to share me by comment me in the present videos. So thank you for all. Whatever I think this is one of the great challenge for us.